What's up, guys? Happy Monday. We're gonna get into some Monday morning or afternoon quarterback. We definitely got to get into what the hell happened last night to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Saints. They lost 38-3. It was the worst loss that I've ever seen of Tom Brady's career, and definitely a real concerning one. Let's illustrate the reasons why. I'm kind of stuck in between, actually. Before I get into that, I'm stuck in between. Every team kind of has a clunker where you just kind of burn the tape because there's not too much to learn from it. It's just sort of everything we did just didn't go the way we expected it to, and it just kind of snowballed. You ever seen the movie The Replacements, and they asked one of the players, Shane Falco, the quarterback, what is your biggest fear? And he says quicksand. And it's basically, he explains it's a situation where things don't go your way, and the harder you fight to try to, basically get back in the game, it just seems like you're sinking. The harder you fight, the worse it gets. That's sort of what yesterday reminded me of, except I'm stuck between just writing it off as quicksand and actually being genuinely concerned because this could foreshadow some things to come. So let's dive into that real quick. Again, they lost 38-3 to the Saints. The road to the Super Bowl is basically going to go through New Orleans, at least for Tampa Bay. They're going to win the crown, this division, so if they meet again, it's going to be on New Orleans' ground, right? So that's a big deal. Now, the reason you could say it's quicksand because that's exactly what happened. I think they got three quick 3-and-outs, and the Saints scored on all three of those turnover on downs, right? Now, it's 21-0, and then you start pressing, you start trying to go for it on fourth down. It doesn't work, and it just seemed like the entire first half, every time Tampa Bay didn't do anything, the Saints went down and scored. I think it was 31-0, I want to say, going into halftime. Now, the reason I think it's a little bit concerning is, again, you're going to probably have to face the Saints. Here's what I'm seeing, okay? So, Tom Brady left the Patriots. Remember at the beginning, if you've been following me, like I said, I did pick the Saints, but I thought the Bucs would make a wild card, which looks like it's what's going to happen. But what I also said is it also depends on Tom Brady, because I don't think he's been Tom Brady for quite some time now. Now, that's not to say he can't have good games. What that means is, so Tom Brady finally hit the wall where he can't turn water into wine in New England, where basically you can't just give him just whatever and he can make stuff happen. What I'm seeing now is he's gone from probably the greatest of all time, of course, to a good quarterback. I wouldn't even say really good, but a good quarterback, right? He's still a good quarterback, but he's gotten to the point where now he needs talent. So noticing that, I think he made the smart play in going to Tampa Bay because he knew there was a plethora of weapons there for him. So to offset his inability to just make stuff happen with nothing, he went ahead and upgraded the talent around him. So to kind of camouflage his shortcomings, right? And it works until you run into a team like the Saints that's just as good, if not better, than the team you're on, and they actually line up and match up well against the team against the talent that you've now acquired. So let's talk about it, right? I saw a stat that shows the last 3 games, Mike Evans cannot record a catch on Marshawn Lattimore. Chris Godwin was already coming in with a broken finger. He kind of probably shouldn't have been playing. Then you got Antonio Brown, who let's face it, I personally don't think you can take a year off of football. And the last time I saw Antonio Brown, a lot of people, thought it was hilarious that I said this. Antonio Brown, while very good, I thought was starting to come down from his superstar stature in terms of, his play on the field. He was still going to put up 1,000-yard seasons and whatnot, but I started to feel like it looked harder than it was. In the previous 5 years, not the ones that he had with the Steelers. Before that last season with the Steelers, the previous 5 years, he made it look easy. He looked like an unstoppable force. That last season, if you recall, I think Juju outperformed him. And while he still looked good, I felt like the go routes looked like they were harder to come by. He was still really quick, but it just took a little more oomph than you're used to seeing. It no longer looked easy coming from Antonio Brown. To which I said, I think you're starting to see his decline. And then he missed a year from, now a year and a half from football. I don't think you can come back and be AB. Now, as a slot receiver, I think he could provide you some good value. As long as you're not expecting him to be the Antonio Brown, which was to say he was making a case for, among the greatest receivers of all time. If you're not expecting that, you temper expectations, you got yourself a good receiver. It's the same situation with Tom Brady. As long as you temper the fact that, yes, you have the greatest quarterback of all time, at least mentally, you don't have the greatest quarterback of all time physically. So with that being said, Marshall Lattimore shuts down Mike Evans, which to Mike Evans' credit, I think he's playing banged up. He looks gimpy out there. Chris Godwin's hurt, and then you got Antonio Brown getting his feet wet. So it wasn't as good a look as we thought it was going to be, considering the defense that they were playing. You even got Malcolm Jenkins, who I think lines up pretty well at this version of Gronk. So they're also one of the better run defenses in the league. So you can't run the ball. They're matching up well against the talent you have at receiver. I don't know what you do with that. I don't know at this point what you're going to do as a team when you meet them in the playoffs, because it looks to me like they have your number as far as shutting you down offensively. The biggest surprise was what was going on with the defense. So I'm watching the defense, and a defense that I'm actually pretty high on. I think they have one of the best front sevens in football. It did take a hit with losing Vita Vea, but you still have great linebackers across the board, and Shaquille Barrett. They put Jason Pierre-Paul outside, rush outside linebacker, Levante David, Devin White. I did say their secondary is kind of the weak link, but Antoine Winfield Jr. has helped their secondary out immensely. What I don't understand, and I've watched the last two games closely, at least you can make the excuse against the Giants that, let me make my point. I don't understand why the corners line up so far off in a system that they play so aggressively. So they send the blitz so much. Their pass rush is predicated on blitz. They're so aggressive defensively. What I don't understand is why the corners always line up like almost 10 yards off. A lot of times they're standing behind the first down marker. And I never get it, because at least against the Giants, you could kind of make the argument that, okay, Darius Slayton, they can fly. Evan Ingram, those are guys that can fly. You don't want them to get behind you. Okay, maybe you can make that argument. I don't agree with that, but they have larger corners. They're 6 feet, over 200 pounds, right? Why are they not at the line of scrimmage jamming, right? So again, at least you can make that excuse with the Giants, but now you're playing the Saints. Drew Brees isn't trying to hit these guys over the top. He's got Mike Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. These are great route runners, intermediate types. They don't have really any burners on that offense. And even if they did, which they do have a guy, I think it's number 11, who's pretty fast. Even if they did, Drew Brees isn't wired really to look for the deep shot. Like, he wants to methodically move the ball downfield. So against Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, why are you giving them like 10 yards of cushion? Jam those receivers, because he's not trying to go over the top anyway. When you play that far off, you're just asking for the slants, the stick routes, and they ate on that all day. The defense was ill prepared to stop anything. So just on sheer positioning, they were giving up the short throws. Then they weren't getting to the quarterback, so the pass rush was neutralized. And granted, credit to the Saints, they have two of the best left and right tackle combos in the league, and pair that with Levante David and Devin White are among the best interior linebackers ever, right? As far as in the league, I mean. They didn't quite look like they knew what was happening. I saw several times Levante David got split out wide, and they weren't able to stop Taysom Hill. They weren't able to stop, what's the tight end's name? Give me a second, I get it for you. Jared Cook. They weren't able to stop Jared Cook. It seems like the Saints got everything they wanted. I don't get what the defense was doing. And then I think they pressed and they got more aggressive and they were just leaving bigger holes. And then Taysom Hill came in. Like, you should know what Taysom Hill's about when he comes in, and they couldn't stop it. Now, granted, a lot of people haven't been able to stop it because that dude is fast and he does present the ability to throw the ball. But it was bad. On defense, you're probably going to burn the tape. That you're going to, as a coordinator, you're going to go, okay, what did we do wrong here? But at the end of the day, I think it was a situation where they got so far down that they were just trying to throw everything, and it just didn't pan out. Like, you started leaving big gaps. They started not playing discipline, and it, bit them in the ass. So, I can't wait to see a third rematch. But I gotta tell you, I'd be worried for the Bucs if they see this team in the playoffs, especially considering the Saints' playoff woes. They're gonna be really amped for this game. Now, moving forward, I just want to touch on a couple other teams. Cowboys fans, we lost another one. We didn't really expect to win this one, but this was another game, back-to-back games that we had a shot to win it in the end. And I personally think play calling is a problem still. Now, on the plus side, this was a game, I know I said last week, I wasn't too hype about the defense, the way that they're playing better considering the offense they were playing in the Eagles. But this week, they did a lot better job with the Steelers. I think there were some good takeaways from there. I've been banging the drum for Neville Gallimore to get more playing time, and he showed up and showed out this game. I don't think he recorded a sack, but the play that Ben Roethlisberger got hurt. If you watch that play, he literally threw Marquise Pouncey on the ground and stuck it to Ben Roethlisberger. If you were watching the first half, he lived in the backfield a lot. He had a couple tackles for loss. It was a tour de force for him. I want to see more Neville Gallimore. Garrett Gilbert, I said that I thought we were going to see Cooper Rush, but they didn't announce that they were, who they were going to start until I think Saturday after I did the video. And when we were Garrett Gilbert, he showed a lot of poise. He's a guy who's been in the league a long time. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to make a whole lot of noise for us, but he gives us competent quarterback play, which is something we desperately need. I think what also helped him is that finally the entire interior line was at least there. Joe Looney, Zach Martin, Connor Williams. At least you have that stability up front in the middle. Cam Irving's back. He's not the tackle you want considering Leo Collins and Tyron Smith, but you're not the Walking Dead. Excuse me, the Walking Dead on the offensive line. So that was a plus. I think there were some pluses to take from the game. Hopefully they continue to grow from there. Some late questionable penalties happened. The Chase Claypool play where they called, I think they called defensive holding or illegal. They called some kind of defensive penalty on Jalen Smith where Chase Claypool basically ran into him and then he fell. So it was kind of iffy, but whatever. Again, we didn't expect to win this game. I think a huge deciding factor was not going for it on 4th and inches. And I've been very aggravated in when they decide to go for it and not go for it. So we lost to the Rams on a play, if you recall, where we went for it on 4th and 5, threw the ball short of the sticks, and CeeDee Lamb got stopped. That play basically cost us the game. We were, if I recall, now again, that was like 8 weeks ago, but if I recall correctly, I think we were up. Were we up? I don't remember. It was a pivotal play that we went for on a 4th down and we didn't get it. Ended up losing the game. I think we were up. We had an opportunity to put it up by 2 scores if we'd have kicked the field goal. I think that was the scenario. He's done it. He has some questionable 4th down calls throughout the season where I'm like, maybe you should just kick the field goal. This wasn't one of them. It was 4th and inches. You could have snuck it probably and got it. Because a touchdown there probably gives you the win as opposed to going for 3. They ended up losing the game. Let's see here. I think it was 19-15. Let me confirm it for y'all. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. It was 24-19. So the field goal put them up to 19. They had 16 and put them up 19. The Steelers were able to get the scores that they needed, won the game 24-19. I think it's a different game if they score a touchdown and put the pressure on the Steelers. And then from then on, I felt like they played a little kind of scared and timid. Nonetheless, Neville Gallimore, I don't know what's going on with Cheeto. I can't wait to see him come back. Trevon Diggs, just a thought for Cowboys fans. You guys can let me know what you think. When I watch him play, and I don't want to, take him and have him learn a new position or anything like that. When I watch him play, I wonder if he's probably out of position. I kind of feel like he would be a better free safety than he is a corner. Now, follow me. If you watch him play, like a lot of his plays come deep downfield when, he has time to kind of process what's going on. He has good ball skills, right? But a lot of times when he's getting beat, it's with some of the technical nuances, like good route runners or really fast receivers. The quicker plays are getting him. Terry McLaurin smoked him on a double move route, right? Those kind of plays are happening all the time in the NFL. And I wonder if Trevon Diggs would be better at safety, because if he can keep everything in front of him and just really focus on his athletic ability and ball skills, I think he might emerge better in that situation than trying to actually lock up receivers that might be quicker or faster than him. I think his athleticism is a plus and his ball skills are a plus. I really think he might emerge better as a free safety, but we'll see. I think we have a player either way. So this division, we'll see what happens. And then last but not least, Jags fans, we lost another one. The only good news about this one is we put a quarterback in there that could actually make deep throws and make throws and threaten the entire field. And we saw what it looked like. He threw for 300 yards. Now, I want to say let's temper expectations, because that defense isn't very good that we played, guys. So, but considering that this was a 6th, 7th round pick that came in and did what he did, the other defense wasn't prepared for him. It was already a bad defense, and they only basically had J.J. Watt as a pass rusher. It turned into a little bit of a shootout. I'm interested now to see what Jake Luton's got the rest of the season. Sorry for Gardner Minshew. It looks like he may or may not have lost his job. Let's see. I think we'll see Jake Luton at least one more game, see what he's got. Next up, let's find out who we got next up. Jags. Where are you at? I think it's Green Bay. Oh, Lord. Yeah, we're in Green Bay next up, guys. So, that's about as tough a defense as far as against the pass you can get. So it'll be a good test to see what we do, and after that is the Steelers, man. I told you guys this was going to be a rough part of our schedule, that if we would have won certain games up front, that we could have at least been in the mix. But this is the part of our schedule. It's going to get really rough. We got Pack, Steelers, even the Browns. We we're so bad we can't sleep on anybody. We got Pack, Steelers, Browns, Vikings, who look like they're starting to come on. The Titans, Ravens, Bears, and then we ended at the Colts. So again, I'm just looking for development. CJ Henderson got burnt on a play. Not looking good there. And we got to get more pass rush. Let me know what you guys think. Click the like. Please, guys, support. I'm trying to get better at this for you guys, to give you a more entertaining videos. And I need your support to help continue everything that I'm doing. I want to give you guys, give us a platform, not just you guys, fans, a platform where we can talk, get together, and create something of our own, a forum of our own, that we can do these things. So please continue to support, like, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Until next time, peace out.